Alright, so in the last video we went over three different ways that I kind of could categorize Dbeat. So again, it's just my opinion on three different styles. One is traditional, the other one is a mix between crust and Dbeat, and the third is Swedish type of style of Dbeat. So again, that doesn't make it right. That's just something that I've just been able to categorize for the last few years. I've been playing Dbeat for a while, and it's just been easier to have that. So in today's video, I mentioned that I was going to break down traditional Dbeat. So that would be in a form of the simplest form, right? It's just Dbeat, very traditional. Again, I showed a part of that by playing, a song from the EP Y by Discharge. And there's even a really cool video by Brian Rowe from the Verruchers, the ex-drummer of the Verruchers, on YouTube as well, and he describes it very well. And this explanation is basically, it's simple, right? The simpler you can keep Dbeat, the better. And especially if you're trying to learn how to play it and get faster at it, I would also highly recommend that. Now, so in this video, where we're kind of going to break down is essentially just how to play it. Again, I'm not a drum teacher, drum expert in any way, so I'll try my best to explain it the way I've learned it, the way I've been playing for a long time, and the way I practice it, and hopefully this helps you. So in a nutshell, when it comes to just playing it overall, traditional, the normal pace of Dbeat, this is kind of how it goes, right? So again, traditional Dbeat is just awesome. It sounds great, sounds heavy. It keeps things simple, especially for songs. Short and sweet. Bands like Disclose have been able to master Dbeat, with that type of style. And again, that's why Disclose is one of the best bands ever, to play Dbeat. So that being said, in order to kind of break this down, in my opinion, one of the first things that you should focus on is the simplicity of it. So the simplicity of it is, again, just how Brian Rowe mentioned in his video, the drummer for the Verruchers is snare, kick, and a cymbal, right? So traditionally, again, the crash ride is the easiest way and also the best way, in my opinion, to also play it. And that's kind of what I would recommend as well. Now, if you choose to play it with a hi-hat, or just a regular crash, sounds great as well, in my opinion. It's just more of a preferential thing. So now that we got that started, let's move over to the snare and kick. And this is really the fundamental part of Dbeat, and this is where you can really practice and get your tempo up as well. So simplest form, let's just go ahead and just go ahead and start with the kick and snare. If you're following along, you can go ahead and pause the video here. If you're not following along, you can skip ahead. But if you are going to follow along, just go ahead and mimic this beat. Let's start short and slow. So that'd be like this. Again, just slow and steady. Once you got basically the way your hand and kick work together to make that rhythm, that's when you can really build up your speed. So if you haven't even got that part down and you haven't built the muscle memory basically for the kick and the snare to go in that type of style, I would highly recommend just to practice that alone. Don't add the cymbal yet. Don't add any fills, don't add anything. Just stick to the very fundamental part of Dbeat and just start with the kick and the snare. So again, I'll do this part more briefly. So Again, as you can see, picked up the tempo there, got a little bit faster, But again, that's just repetition between the kick and the snare. Again, I wouldn't recommend adding a cymbal at this point, or even drum fills or anything like that, until you've gotten that part down. Again, and the more you do it, the more practice, the faster you'll get, and the more muscle memory you'll end up building up. So after we got down to the snare and the kick drum, again, on this part of the traditional Dbeat, this is when we can kind of start getting more comfortable and add a cymbal. So if we're just sticking to, again, the normal pace, let's just start there. So when it comes to the cymbal is almost mimicking the bass drum. Again, this is just my opinion. It's the way I've been playing it for a long time. I'm sure there are 100 ways you could probably play the cymbal, and technically, let's just say I'm playing it wrong. But that's just the way I've been playing it. I think it's really helpful, especially if you're trying to mimic the cymbal to the kick drum. As you get faster, that tone starts to kind of blend with each other. And as you play the cymbal faster, it may sound a little bit, I guess, more repetitive, such as this. But again, if you stick to just playing traditionally and just stick to the slower tempo at first, that's how you will build your speed. So I highly recommend, again, just practicing this part over and over and over, until you really got the muscle memory to be able to build speed from there. So if we just keep sticking to the snare, the kick, the crash, you will be able to definitely be able to pick up the pace. So again, for the cymbal, we're just going to go ahead and mimic the snare, the kick with the cymbal, and just basically keep it at a slow tempo and do it over and over. Again, if you are following along, just go ahead and keep following along here, and you can pause this and skip ahead if you want to get to the next step. Alright, so by this point, if you've been following along and you've been maybe going back and just making sure that you can pick up from the snare to the kick, and then you've added the cymbal, this is where you can start adding some drum fills. The drum fills, in my opinion, again, it gives it better sound. Adding fills to any song really is like the best part about playing drums for me, and that's how I'm able to write a lot of the songs and be able to add a couple of the fills that I enjoy to the drum covers that I do. And when it comes to that, when it's the traditional drum beat, I wouldn't go overboard, again, unless that's your choice, of course, but just add a couple of beats to be able to make it heavier, be able to make it sound great with all the other additional instruments, guitars, bass, and vocals and everything. So if we practice that, again, with a mentality that we started building our tempo just from the very beginning, from snare, kick, and then we added a cymbal. At this point, we've built the muscle memory, we've built the repetition, we've gotten consistent with our tempo just on the traditional stance, and we're pretty comfortable here. Now we can go ahead and add some drum fills. So let's go ahead and try that. again, just it's an opinion. It's something that you can definitely build from there, be able to add different things. If you feel you can add a completely different way of adding drum fills, awesome. That's what, you know, punk is about. Be able to add your own influence to it, be able to keep some foundational parts of the music, and again, just keep practicing. The next parts of the videos that I'll be making is the Dbeat crust type of evolution of Dbeat. Then we'll end kind of the sequence of these videos with Swedish type style, more skid system, Wolf Brigade, Wolf Pack, Mop 47, Anti-Simex, etc. So if you've enjoyed these videos, as always, you know, thank you for watching. It's been awesome being able to see the feedback from the last video, being able to get a lot of suggestions, so I really appreciate that. And if you want to keep seeing these videos, do me a favor and again share this video. You know, if you want to continue to get notifications for the video, as always, subscribe and add the like button there to be able to help out for the video for others to see. Thank you again, and see you on the next one.